Secretary and officials from the Office of President and Cabinet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're most welcome. Kindly take a seat. I would like to welcome you to Parliament, the Chief Secretary, Dr. Saidi. I see you've come with your team members. We will proceed in this manner. We'll have introductions from members of Parliament. Thereafter, we'll proceed to Secretariat and media. Then we'll give you space to introduce yourself and so the members that have accompanied you. Would like to inform you that the proceedings are live, and whatever we're discussing, people, Malawians, are watching. So we'll proceed in this manner. After introductions, we'll give you space to take an oath. The reason you're going to take an oath is obvious, so that whatever we're doing here is minuted and we can use as Parliament at a later stage. In the event that you feel that you can have a break, you're free to raise a hand so that we can break. This has been the case throughout, and we've created room for any person who is appearing before the committee to have a breather even outside. So feel free. When you're done with the oath, we'll proceed in this way. You're going to make your presentation. After the presentation, we'll then open for plenary, where honor members will ask questions. So ideally, Dr. Saidi, as the Chief Secretary to Government, would like to thank you for your appearing today to this committee, not as a direct party to the Amaryllis Hotel transaction, but as the most senior civil servant who seconded the acting principal, Mr. Mera, at a critical juncture. The committee's focus is whether the appointment followed the law, respected the independence of the pension fund, and whether it was influenced by government interest in concluding that transaction. So basically, we will revolve around that as per the letter that was dispatched from Parliament to your office. So basically, those are the things that the committee will dive into. All our members, can I have introductions starting from my far right? Mulanje, Southeast.
Honorable Chairperson, good afternoon. Through you, my name is Buka Matemvu, representing the people of Mulanje Southeast, and would want to declare, Honorable Chairperson, that the stakeholder appearing before us and his team are known to me personally. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson. Through you, my name is Fisiani Barnett Nyondo. I represent the great people of Chitipa Central Constituency. Thank you, Chair.
Through you, Honorable Chairperson, good afternoon. My name is Santiago Samson Piri, Member of Parliament for Mulanje South Constituency. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson, good afternoon. My name is Geoffrey Onsewa, MP for Chikwawa North. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Winston Kamebanjira, Member of Parliament for Lilongwe Chiwamba Constituency. Thank you, Chair.
I am Amina Gajia, representing Zomba Sondoli. Thank you.
Chair and all my seniors, I'm Patricia Galiati, Mulanje West.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Ivo Kaunda, MP for Nkarebe Central, and me too, let me declare that I know Mr. Justice Saidi, the Chief Secretary. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon. My name is Gerard Tasaukadala, representing the people of Blantyre Central constituency. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, my name is Best Ben Awali, Member of Parliament for Zomba City North. And I would also want to echo that I know the stakeholder before us. Thank you.
Chair, I'm George Katunga Million, Member of Parliament, Palombe Machemba. Thank you, Chair.
Through you, Honorable Chairperson, Nelly Carter, Parliament Secretariat.
Through Honorable Chairperson, my name is Frederick Amwani, Parliament Secretariat.
Honorable Chairperson, good afternoon. Sangwani Puri, Parliament Secretariat. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson, I'm Isabel Tambala, Parliament Secretariat. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson. I'm Andrew Kazonda from Chisoma Radio. Thank you.
Chair, I'm George Singini from Nation Publications.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Lawrence Chakakala Jazia, Lilongwe Chilobwe constituency.
Honour members and the controlling officer, my name is Stephen Baba Malondela. I'm an MP for Lilongwe Nyanja constituency and the chairperson of Public Accounts Committee. I would like to ask you, the Chief Secretary, to introduce yourself and the members that have accompanied you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm Justin Adak K. Saidi, Chief Secretary to Government. And with me, I have the Principal Secretary for Administration in OPC, who is here. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair, and your honorable committee. My name is Rashid Nterera, Principal Secretary responsible for administration in OPC. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and honorable committee. My name is Harry Shimota. I'm the Secretary for Human Resource Management Involvement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Secretariat, can you administer the oath? Since you have someone in HR and someone in administration, maybe the best is maybe you can have all of them take an oath to avoid oscillating at a later stage in case the Chief Secretary may want them to give an input to what he's going to speak. So just administer to all. Over to you, Secretariat.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I request that I will do everything. If anything, there will be to support me. I'll speak on everything here.
So there's no need for anyone to support you in the course of the deliberations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
That's in order. Yeah. That's in order. Secretariat.
I, Justin Adake Saidi, do solemnly swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you so much, Secretariat, as well as the Chief Secretary, for taking that off. We will proceed in this manner. We'll give you space to actually make your formal presentation before this committee. This is just premised around the sale or purchase of the Amaryllis Hotel by the pension fund. So we'll give you a space, the Chief Secretary, to make your presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and the honorable members of the committee, my fellow officers from Office of the President and Cabinet. On the onset, what I should say is, what we did was according to the law. Why am I saying so? We are looking at issues of secondment of Hamera to the pension fund. Secondment is an important human resource management mechanism within the Malawi Public Service, which allows for temporary movement of personnel across institutions. Secondment is a form of deployment of public officers within and outside the public service. It is an arrangement that is made where need arises in MTA, statutory corporation, or non-governmental body. The facility is therefore an interim measure. However, to ensure that there is consistency in the administration and the management of secondments in public service, the facility is regulated by several legal instruments, including the Public Service Act, 1994, the Malawi Public Service Regulation, MPSR, and several administrative circulars that are issued by government from time to time. What is the legal framework on the secondment? According to the Public Service Act, 1994, as a form of deployment, secondment of public officers is subjected to the provision of Section 10 of the Public Service Act 1994, which provides guidance on what factors should be taken into account when making deployments of public officers, either within or outside the public service. Furthermore, Section 17A, subsection 4 of the Public Service Act, which provides for the function of the Chief Secretary as the head of the public service, gives authority to the Chief Secretary to be responsible for the overall management and administration of the public service, including deployment of public officers within and outside service. What this entails is that anybody from P4, P3, P2, even P1, secondment has to come through the office of the Chief Secretary, as by law. The Malawi Public Service Regulation Act, MPSR, and administrative circulars. The secondment of public officers to perform duties within or outside the public service, including parastatals and non-governmental bodies, is further regulated by MPSR 1.175 as read with some administrative circulars, such as circular letter reference number PD/103/0/48A/17 dated 11 December 1989. Reference number PD4/1/7E/4/8 dated 4th November 1994, and the reference number PD103/0/48B/132 dated 5th November 2003. Where the public interest so requires, a public officer may be seconded by government to perform duties within or outside the public service, including statutory corporations and non-governmental bodies. The maximum period of secondment is 3 years, which is 36 months at a time. A public officer on secondment may be seconded any time before the expiry of the period of secondment. However, secondment arrangement will not be applicable where a public officer has or his own secured employment within a parastate organization or non-governmental bodies, and subsequent there to seek government approval that he should be seconded to such an organization. Therefore, in view of the above, a public officer who has been identified by government for proposed secondment is not required to go through a formal recruitment process. Additionally, such an officer, notwithstanding his or her secondment, remains an employee of the civil service or seconding organization, remains a substantive holder of the post he or she was filling in the civil service or seconding organization before his or her secondment, is eligible for promotion in the civil service or seconding organization, and as discussed under 139, when the officer goes through a formal recruitment process, then the deployment ceases to be a secondment. The role of the Chief Secretary in secondment of public officers to public institutions. The case of secondment of Boyd Hamera to PSPTF As is stated earlier on, secondment is a form of deployment of public officers within and outside the public service, and deployments in the public service of whatever form are provided for under Section 10 of the Public Service Act. In this regard, 17A/4 of the Public Service Act gives authority to the Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet as the head of the public service to be responsible for the overall management and administration of the public service, including deployment of public officers within and outside the public service. It follows, therefore, that where government is satisfied that there is need that a public officer be seconded to perform duties within or outside the public service, it will exercise its authority under the law to identify and second such a public officer from the mainstream civil service to any public institution, including PSPFT, to perform duties within the public service. Mr. Boyd Hamera's secondment is therefore not exceptional to this requirement. However, since secondment is a form of deployment of posting or deployments or posting of officers above the position of Undersecretary, grade F, which is P5, are approved and signed in the office of the President and Cabinet, and this is in line with Section 6 of the Public Service Act 1994. Approval and signing of Mr. Boyd Hamera's secondment to PSFT was therefore in order because the officer is above the position of Undersecretary, which is grade F, as at the time of his deployment to PSFPTF. He was serving in the Ministry of Agriculture as Deputy Director of Planning, grade E, P4. Furthermore, it was in the public interest that government should identify an appropriate officer for secondment to PSPTF in order to fill on a temporary arrangement a capacity gap that was identified following the suspension of the substantive order of the post of the principal officer on disciplinary grounds. The secondment facility was therefore a provisional arrangement intended to ensure that there is continued efficient delivery of public service to the citizenry, while the public institution, in this case PSFPFT, is working on the disciplinary case of the suspended principal officer, who is the substantive holder of the post, or indeed, while PSFT is considered how it intends to fill the capacity gap on a long-term basis through a formal recruitment process. According to Section 8.4, subsection A of the trustee deed, gives powers to government to second an officer to PSPT who shall work on the direction of the board and not OPC. On appointment of trustees under Section 10, subsection B of the trustee deeds, gives powers to ministers, departments, and agencies to recommend public servants to be trustees. I submit, Honorable Chair.
So much, the Chief Secretary, because you've actually highlighted the secondment of Boyd Hamera to Public Service Pension Trust Fund Secretariat. Honourable members, listening to the Chief Secretary, I would like to open plenary so that you can ask questions, so that we move and proceed. Honourable members. I see Blantyre Central. There's Mulanje Southeast and Vice Chair Chirobwe, Lilongwe Chirobwe. Blantyre Central.
Thank you very much, Chair, for allowing the people of Blantyre Central constituency to make a comment on this comprehensive presentation by the stakeholder who happens to be the SPC. Let me commend the stakeholder here for his well articulated and comprehensive statement, because it has simply cleared the mist that was surrounding the appointment of Mr. Boyd Hamera. So mine is not a question, actually is just commending the stakeholder for his clarification on the matter that was surrounding this appointment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Plant Central. Mulanje Southeast.
Honorable Chairperson, thanks very much for yielding the floor to the people of Mulanje Southeast. In the first instance, we want to echo what our colleague from Blantyre Central has echoed. Honorable Chairperson, it's very rare for a person in the position of the Chief Secretary to be so magnanimous and allow to be heard before this honorable committee, looking at past events where other chief secretaries have actually not honored summons before this very honorable committee. I think it's only worthwhile to commend him for that. At the same time, Honorable Chairperson, just wanted to find out from the Chief Secretary what his role has been in the appointments of members of the board, considering that the matter that is before us at stake is an issue where the boards were dissolved, and as soon as they were dissolved, this particular board was reinstated within 2 days. Honorable Chairperson, thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Mulanje Southeast. We'll hand it over to the Chief Secretary to respond to that one. I see there's Nkatabe Central. So Nkatabe Central, you surely come after Lilongwe Chirobwe. Over to you, the Chief Secretary.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. I had no single role in appointing the trustees, because even the trustee deed is very clear on the appointment of members of the board. I never took any role. I never called for a meeting for those people. And on the issue of the board, when we came in, we dissolved all boards. Except this one, because it is different from the boards like ADIMAC, Ejenko, MBC, where government appoints and then they are approved. But with this trustee, it is a different story. They are special entities that come around and form the board, and therefore I had no single role. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, as Chief Secretary. Lilongwe Chirobwe.
Thank you very much, the Chair. The SPC Lilongwe Chirobwe is so grateful that you have appeared before this committee today, despite your third stage that you have, but you considered, you saw it important that you should appear before this committee. I commend that gesture. It's indeed a good and a positive one from such a senior government, the most senior government official. Mine is just a question on the Board of Trustees at its 22nd board meeting in the minute 74 had a resolution that the fund would not accept any personnel seconded from government. I would like to know if you are aware of this resolution. The second question is if you are aware of this resolution, why did you go ahead to do so? The second question, Mr. Chair, is the financial services laws require that the key officers of the licensed pension fund be subjected to a fit and proper vetting by registrar of financial institutions. Mr. SPC, I would like to know if Mr. Hamela was vetted. If he was not vetted, why did you proceed with the secondment without the regulatory clearance? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lilongwe Chiromwe. The Chief Secretary, over to you to respond to the issues which have been raised by Lilongwe Chiromwe.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I'm not aware of the 22nd board resolution. All what I'm aware is we are requested to provide an officer, and the officer went and was taken. Now, if the board resolved that they do not want to take anybody, why did they accept him? They had the liberty to say no, because it is within their mandate. But what I know is, from their explanation, they wanted somebody to be seconded. And I believe maybe their secondment is about the trustees, not the officer. Because it came from them and we seconded an officer, and there's somebody who has powers to second people. I did the second. Whatever role, they did not report to me. He was supposed to report to the body. Why the body taking on the body if they are told they made a resolution? On issues of vetting, I know vetting is done by, if I'm not mistaken, it is the trustees that are vetted. But if their officers are vetted, it was then the responsibility of the trustee to send somebody for vetting, not my office. Thank you.
Honourable members, I see Nkatabe Central. Nkatabe Central, please. I see Lilongwe Chwamba after Nkatabe Central. Over to you, Nkatabe Central.
Thank you very much, Chair, for giving the floor to Nkatabe Central. I just want to appreciate, sir, the coming of the Chief Secretary to the government to appear before a parliamentary committee. But I just want to thank him very much for appearing before the committee, and I hope all other principal secretaries in the government and senior government officials, they are taking notice of this, that if the whole Chief Secretary is coming before a committee of Parliament, what about them? So I hope other principal secretaries or other controlling officers within the government and its agencies will be able to follow suit, that the Chief Secretary has appeared therefore in the future when they are called. Because many, we have seen, sir, many controlling officers, many PSCs, including district commissioners, when they are called to appear before Parliament, some they don't even come. So I just want to put on record and thank him. I want to thank you, sir. Thank you for coming and clearing things, because some people would have been talking things out of air. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Nkatabe Central, for the compliments. Lilongwe Chwamba. After Lilongwe Chwamba, I see Zomba City North.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to ask only one question to the Chief Secretary. Chair, multiple witnesses who appeared before this committee stated that Mr. Hamera became acting principal on 28 October 2025, the day after the suspension of Mr. George Jim. Chief Secretary seconded, his secondment letter is dated 6 November 2025, a full 90 days later. I would like to ask Chief Secretary to explain why there is a discrepancy between your official record and the testimony given to this committee. And I have another question, Chair, also. If Mr. Hamera was acting principal from 28 October, but your letter was only issued on 6 November, was he operating without lawful authority for those 90 days? Or do you or anyone in your office authorize him verbally before the written letter was issued? Thank you, Chair.
The Chief Secretary, those are questions from Lilongwe Chiwamba regarding the date discrepancy, 28th October versus 6th November 2025. That it appears Mr. Boyd Hamera started working on the 28th of October, but the letter, secondment letter, was only issued on the 6th November, according to Lilongwe Chiwamba. He wants you to come out clear on those things, on the discrepancy. Thank you. Over to you, Chief Secretary.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I stand by 6th November. That's when I released the letter. Whatever happened at the trustee is none of my business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I now go to Zomba City North.
Thank you, Chair, for yielding the floor to Zomba City North to ask a question to our stakeholder herein. But before I do so, let me write on the commendations that have been made by my colleagues, my honorable colleagues here, by applauding the SPC for appearing before this committee. He has set a very good example, other than those that are abdicating their duties and choosing not to appear before this committee when they are summoned to do the same. However, I wanted to ask the stakeholder, our SPC, that is there anything else that you can assist this committee to ensure that former SPC is brought before this committee so that she explains her side of the story according to this Amaryllis transaction. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Zomba City North. Controlling Officer, Chief Secretary.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. If the former SPC was still in government, I would have brought her even now. But she's no longer with government, she's out of government. It should be other organs that can bring her. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, Controlling Officer, the Chief Secretary. Maybe riding on what Zomba City North asked and in relation to what you have said, because the Public Accounts Committee as Parliament, we find ourselves in at a disadvantaged position because the former Chief Secretary claims that there is also another warrant of arrest, but Parliament doesn't issue those things. That's why she's not appearing. Maybe that's why Zomba City was trying to find out, is there anything that can happen? Because those are some of the challenges that, the disadvantages that this committee has. So you've said, since she's out of government, there's nothing that can happen. Maybe I see a hand from Lilongwe Chiwamba.
Thank you, Chair, for allowing Lilongwe Chiwamba for second time. Chair, this is a House of Record. And we have been meeting several officials to have questions on this issue. I would like to ask the Chief Secretary to confirm if indeed the answer he's giving you now it is true. Because he wrote a secondment letter to the fund. And I have asked him a question, he's giving me answer that is none of his, he doesn't know anything what happened at the fund. But he wrote secondment letter. I'd like to ask him to confirm in this house if indeed the answer he's giving now, it is true. Secondly, Chair, I would like to ask him also, your office, he has stopped several unnecessary expenditure. Why you did not stop this at the first time? Because I understand you had the time, you were aware about these transactions before. Thirdly, I'd like to ask the Chief Secretary to provide us evidence if indeed funds requested his office to provide an officer. Thank you, Chair.
Chief Secretary, you have those 3 questions from Lilongwe Chwamba. Over to you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As I indicated, I'm saying the truth and nothing but the truth. My letter dated the 6th November. If there was an activity before, I'm not responsible. That should be asked by the board what happened, the board that they were giving me authority to sign the letter and then they had already started using them. That is not under me. What is under me is the letter on 6th November. Secondly, when we go through the trustee deed, I have no role over the board or the trustees. And I also said the appointment of those people is different from the appointment of anybody, ESCOM, name it. It's different, quite different. Applying those principles to that organization, which is an independent, it would have been something difficult. And therefore, I was just doing my duty, normal duty, because I was not responsible. There are bodies that are responsible for that organization. We have the Reserve Bank, who is the regulator. Those that can see problems and they will be able to see how they can deal with them, as they have done now, by or maybe suspending or what. But I had no role on that body, therefore, it was difficult for me just to say, you stop. Read through the title, the deed, trustee deed. I'm not appearing anywhere. But secondly, because I head the civil service, and that OP falls and above, I have to second them. I did it. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
So much, the Chief Secretary, for that response. So we can actually confirm that from the 28th to 6th, from 28th October 2025 to somewhere around 6th November 2025, when you issued the letter, we can actually confirm that Mr. Hamera operated illegally because there was no formal secondment, but he happened to be by that institution. Wait, 9 days. 9 days later, that's when the formal one was issued. Was there any verbal communication from your office or your officers that kindly proceed, the letter shall follow later? Controlling officer?
No, in the government, we go by the circulars and the letters. We don't do it verbally. Thank you, Madam Chair.
It now appears that we're still having more issues. I think as a committee, then we'll get to Mr. Hamera and the others to see what actually happened. That a civil servant walked into the pension fund offices, started discharging his duties without having a proper document or secondment letter from the Chief Secretary. I see, honourable members, I see Lilongwe Chwamba again.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, on the Board of Trustees has passed the resolutions on its 22nd board meeting minutes that the fund could not accept secondment percent from government. Were the chief secretary aware of the body's resolution before issuing your letter?
Let's go down to order. Zomba City North.
Thank you, Chair. Is it in order that the question that Lilongwe Chwamba is asking has already been put forth by Lilongwe Chirobwe, and the stakeholder here had already answered? I don't know if he was here when the question was being asked.
Your point of order has been sustained. I think the issue that has been raised, it was also raised. Lilongwe Chwamba, you may consider the second one. If you have any, or if you don't have, then we proceed. Lilongwe Chwamba. Okay, thank you so much. Anyone with a question? Other members? Anyone with a question? Thank you so much, the Chief Secretary, basically for your appearing. Like I've indicated, and other members have also talked about it. Your appearance actually gives comfort to Parliament, because Parliament is another arm of government. But while you're taking charge of the other arm as a Chief Secretary in the executive arm of government, I'd like to appreciate that you appeared before Public Accounts Committee. But like we've said, I think the other one we may find ways on how we can proceed. Like I indicated, that we find ourselves at a disadvantaged position because the former Chief Secretary is not appearing because she's sick, according to what we got. But at the same time, when you look at when she left this country, it was on around 16th, 17th of February, when this committee was given mandate to do an inquiry on the 24th of February, when she had already left. And at the same time, we started the inquiry somewhere around the 10th of March. But now, because she was sick, then the other issues which are popping up, legal in nature,